Hey friends, welcome back. So I made some changes to the standard Omnis, and today I'm going to be skating them and talking through what I changed and why. Let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm mainly going to be skating this ledge today. This is one of my favorite ledges. It has this horizontal kink in it, which I call my bendy elbow ledge. All right, so I'm riding the medium shells, and the first thing that I noticed is when I first was skating the frames that came with them, I felt like I was a little off balance in them. And so when I was kind of looking at the skates themselves, I noticed that the frames that come on the mediums are only 150. I found for my foot length that, you know, I really thrive with about a 160, 165 length frame. And so I swapped them out for the Kaiser Fluid 4s. And then another thing that I like about the Kaisers is that it has a deeper H block, which is really what I'm used to skating, versus the stock frame, which has this very shallow groove. And I just felt like I kept slipping out. So with it being not the right length and a little shallower than I liked, I swapped it out. The next change I made was the liner. I swapped them out for a new pair of the rollerblade blank liners that I had kind of laying around my house. So these are the 27.5 blank liners. And I like these because I skate them in my blanks, and they are a little wider. So, you know, in my first video, I mentioned that the stock liners are very, very snug, and it felt like it was really compressing and kind of bruising the outside of my foot. Really reminded me of the Rems HR 2.5s, where, you know, it had that sixth toe sensation, as so it's called. But anyway, like, pop these liners in, and they feel like they fit a lot better lengthwise, widthwise. And then I also, you know, have the rollerblade liners instead of the bungee cords that come on the stock liners, just to lace those up, because I like to lace the liners, leave the cuff a little loose, so hopefully that helps with some of the flex issues I had. And the last thing that I did was just kind of heat mold these. So if you've listened to anything that Law from Standard has said, is that these boots are heat moldable. So I basically, you know, one thing I noticed is with these tongues, they were sticking out pretty far. And it's kind of weird because it seems like the skates that have the liners with them, you get these little flanges that stick out further, but the ones that come shell only, they actually like wrap and it's more circular shaped. And so what I kind of feel is happening is when they cure, the liner is soft, and so when you put in the tube, it still allows kind of that oval shape to form within the cuff, versus like if you're putting in just a straight dowel into the boot with no liner, then it'll actually take more of the shape. But you know, when you have something that's an oval shape, it gets longer and narrower, but as it becomes circular, it kind of widens and flattens out more. And I kind of feel like that's what happened with the stock liners during manufacturing. So I heat molded them a little bit, used a round object to try and reshape it to kind of push out some of the pressure points that I was getting on my ankles. So we'll see if that helps today. So I just wrapped up my session in these. Overall, they're feeling a lot more comfortable with a different liner, different frames. All of those are feeling good. I'm still getting a little pressure on the inside of my left ankle, so I probably just need to go through one more round of heat molding them. Sole tricks felt really good, felt locked in, smooth. H-block tricks, man, those felt phenomenal today. Once I changed out the frames, no problem locking in or keeping on the ledge or rails felt great. Top sides also felt pretty good. I do feel like when I'm doing my top sides, I am riding more on the front half of my skate on the sole plate and the frame than I am the back half. Maybe it's because of the double heel pad, but it wasn't a deal breaker. I didn't feel off balance. So, you know, overall good improvement. You know, I'd say right now, if you're looking to buy the Omnis, you know, the stock liner really tight, you know, you may be better off just buying the shell and then customizing it the way that you want to customize it, because to me it doesn't quite feel like the skate is all there yet. But you know, it's worth it if you want to try all the new features such as the liner, the frames, you know, the boot. Definitely would say though that 275 is like the maximum that you could go in with the Omni mediums, as long as you're using a different liner. I personally am liking the blanks in these because the liner is so thin around the front half of the foot. But overall, feeling really good and had a good session today. Thanks all for checking in. We'll catch you next time.